Staying with the WNBA playoffs, let's stay here. Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever now eliminated. Game one of the Aces Liberty matchup on Sunday drew an average of 929,000 viewers. It's a good number for the WNBA on an NFL Sunday. However, that was down nearly 50% from last Sunday's Fever Sun contest. By the way, not only was viewership down, but attendance was as well.
A'ja Wilson is speaking out, and Caitlin Clark has become the center of attention, whether she likes it or not. Is it pure coincidence, or is there something deeper going on here? Stick around because we're breaking down all the facts, and trust me, you won't want to miss this. So let's talk about the WNBA's playoff ratings, or should I say, the lack of ratings. According to official numbers, viewership has tanked, and it's all happened after Caitlin Clark's elimination from the playoffs. We're talking about a 50% drop in viewership between series. Think about that for a second. One of the biggest stories in women's basketball, and suddenly, it feels like nobody's tuning in anymore. So, what's the deal? Caitlin Clark, the breakout rookie star for the Indiana Fever, was the heart of the playoffs. Whether you love her or hate her, there's no denying that she brought eyeballs to the game. People weren't just watching the Indiana Fever, they were watching Caitlin Clark. She's electrifying. Deep three-pointers, slick assists, leadership on the court. This is what fans wanted to see, and when she was eliminated, guess what? The excitement was gone. The WNBA lost its spark. But here's where it gets interesting. While many fans were disappointed to see Caitlin go, A'ja Wilson, the Las Vegas Aces superstar, wasn't exactly happy about the attention Clark had been getting all season. And things came to a head when the ratings started to dip, with Wilson seemingly hinting that there's more at play here than just basketball. Is A'ja Wilson pointing the finger at Caitlin Clark for these sagging ratings? And even worse, is she suggesting that there's some racial undertone to why Caitlin Clark gets so much love from the media? A'ja Wilson had a lot to say after the playoffs took a nosedive. Her frustration wasn't just about her own team's performance. It was about how the league itself seems to treat its players. Wilson is a two-time MVP. She's been the face of the league. And yet, when you look at how the media covers her versus someone like Clark, it's like night and day. Now, let's be clear, Caitlin Clark deserves the attention. She's changing the game, no question. But the fact that when she was out of the playoffs, ratings collapsed? That says something about how dependent the WNBA is on her star power. What does it say about the league's failure to market their other stars? Why is the WNBA so reliant on a single rookie to carry the ratings? Wilson didn't hold back. She called out the media for what she feels is a blatant preference for Clark, implying that race could be part of the equation. A'ja Wilson has been dominant for years. She's proven herself on the court time and again. But it seems like the media's attention has shifted almost exclusively to Clark, and that doesn't sit well with a lot of people in the league. And here's the thing, Wilson's not entirely wrong. The WNBA has a marketing problem, and it's not new. They've struggled for years to build a sustainable fan base. But when you look at the stark contrast between how Clark is covered versus Wilson, it raises some serious questions. Clark has been a phenomenon in her rookie year, no doubt, but Wilson's been dominating for much longer. Yet, the ratings plummet when Clark is out. So, is this really just about basketball? Or is something else going on behind the scenes? Let's not forget, Caitlin Clark came into the league with a massive following from her college days at Iowa. People were already calling her the future of women's basketball, and frankly, she's delivered. But the WNBA has always struggled with consistent viewership, so the fact that one player could make such a huge difference in ratings says a lot about how the league is handling its stars. Now, I know some of you are going to say, but Clark is just that good. And you're not wrong. Her talent is undeniable. But what A'ja Wilson is getting at, and what others are whispering, is that the WNBA needs to figure out how to market all of its stars, not just the ones who fit a certain narrative. It's no secret that Clark is often praised for her savvy, her skill, and, let's be real, her marketability. But the question remains, why can't that same energy be put behind other stars? What's frustrating for players like Wbna is that they've been working for years to elevate the league, but the spotlight seems to shift the moment someone new, like Clark, steps onto the scene. Is that fair? Wbna Wilson and her teammates on the Las Vegas Aces have been putting in work, and yet the second they're out, the league's ratings hit the floor. It feels like the WNBA is putting all its eggs in one basket with Caitlin, and that's a risky move. And let's be real for a second, Clark isn't even playing the rest of this year. That's right, she's not heading overseas, and she's not joining any off-season leagues. Fans won't see her on a court for 200 days. So, what happens now? If the WNBA's ratings tanked without her in the playoffs, what's going to happen next season? Wbna Wilson is right to call out the league for its handling of this situation. The WNBA has to do better. It has to be about more than just one player. Because when Clark is out and nobody's watching, it's clear that there's a deeper problem. It's not just about who's on the court, it's about how the league values its stars. And right now, it seems like they've pinned all their hopes on Clark. If that doesn't change, we're going to see the same cycle again and again. Huge spikes in ratings when Clark is playing and massive drop-offs when she's not. So, where do we go from here? Can the WNBA learn from this? Can they find a way to elevate all of their stars so they aren't completely reliant on one player for ratings? Or are we going to see the same thing happen next year when Caitlin inevitably comes back and dominates the conversation again? One thing's for sure, Wbna Wilson is fed up, and she's not alone. The players, the fans, and even some of the coaches are starting to voice their frustrations. If the WNBA doesn't take a serious look at how it markets its stars, we're going to keep seeing these problems pop up year after year. But what do you guys think? Is Caitlin Clark's dominance good for the WNBA? Or is it a sign that the league has a major marketing issue? And what about Wbna Wilson's comments? Does she have a point about how the media and the league treat their players? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more content, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.